Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's presentation or chat. We're just really going to have a chat, I think, more than anything, with Alexei Sakalis, who is the head of real estate for Holborn Assets, and also our subsidiary company, Archway Real Estate, who we are accessing most of our property in the UAE through. And just before I hand over to Alexis, I'd just like to point out that I'm based in the Middle East. I run our Saudi Arabia office, and I must say the one thing that clients and people I'm talking to in the Middle East, the one thing that is constantly on people's mind over the past 12 months, I've found, is Dubai property, UAE property, and this whole real hot story that there is in the real estate market in Dubai. So I think this presentation, this chat is going to be quite timely because a lot of people are talking about this, and it seems like everyone wants a piece of this market. So it'd be really interesting just to find out what the fundamentals are, what the latest news and information is, and really get some solid feedback from an expert in the field, and that is Alexei. So with that, I'll hand over to you, and you can tell us all about what's going on in the Dubai property market.
I thank you, Vincent, and hello everyone. Welcome to this webinar. So, as Vincent introduced me, I'm the head of real estate for Archway Real Estate, which is the subsidiary of Holborn Assets, 100% dedicated to real estate for our client. So what I'll do is I'll go through a brief presentation about the Dubai market. I'll explain you why the Dubai market is so attractive, and why this is something you should definitely consider to be part of your portfolio. So let me share this presentation about Dubai. Is that working well, Vincent?
Yeah, coming through fine for me, Alexei.
Okay, perfect. So as I said, we have our subsidiary company called Archer Real Estate, which is 100% part of Holborn. So we are not. I don't really consider us as a real estate company. We don't have 50 real estate agents chasing clients in the Dubai market. We are a wealth management company. And among the different services and products that we offer to our clients, we have an expertise in real estate, and so we can offer real estate investment opportunities in Dubai. So let me start with a presentation about Dubai, why this place is so interesting. I'll start with the government and politics. Dubai, or the UAE, are a country which is extremely stable politically talking, especially in the environment it is in the Middle East. We all know that this is a place where things can be heated pretty fast. So Dubai remains a heaven for the rest of the peninsula, and it's actually a heaven for the rest of the world today in terms of taxes, etc. We'll come back to that later. But what you need to know about the politics in Dubai is that it's extremely stable. And another very good point about the politics is that Dubai remains neutral. So any conflicts in the world, I mean, the UAE will have a word to say, but they keep their neutrality. We actually call them the Switzerland of the Middle East. And it keeps Dubai in a very safe place, if I can say so, which is very important when you want to invest in a country or in a city. You want it to be stable and safe. In terms of business, this is definitely the main point for me. This city is 100% focused on business, and so the point of the leaders here is to build a business hub, probably the biggest business hub. If you remember back in time, I mean, if you've lived in Dubai during the COVID, well, Dubai was locked down, I think, for 2 months and a half, and then was back into business. Everybody follows the rules here, so it was pretty easy to manage the situation. So coming back to the business, what they aim at doing is to build the business platform. Business platform do attract businesses, and businesses attract people for employment. So this is how Dubai is growing. You have major companies. I would cite like Amazon, which is building their biggest hub in the world. You can clearly see all the different areas of Dubai which are expanding, especially the production city. And between what we call the Jebel Ali port and the new airport, which will be ready in 10 years' time, in between you will have more and more factories, because Dubai is actually a place where you have a lot of services, but we don't manufacture a lot in Dubai. This trend will change. The UAE have a lot of agreements now with countries like China, and more and more factories are setting up here in Dubai. When you see the strategic location of Dubai in the Middle East, between Europe, Africa, and Asia, this is clearly a strategic place to be if you want to manufacture. So you will see more and more business attracted to this place, and more major companies in the world, the biggest companies in the world, setting up their hubs here in Dubai. And this will attract, of course, people. The government is actually expecting to double the population by 2040. We are today roughly 3.6, 3.5, 3.6 millions. They expect 7 million people to be resident, to be living long term in Dubai. And on a yearly basis, we welcome between 150 to 200,000 new residents. So I personally think that we will reach probably 6.2, 6.3 people, which is actually a lot. So that's the plan in terms of business. If you attract all this business, if you build that much, you need, of course, the infrastructure, and this is something that the government is permanently investing on. They are enlarging the roads because, I mean, the more people you have, the more traffic you will have. They are building new transportations, shopping malls, leisure facilities. So this is something that is clearly taken care of by the government. Then what is extremely attractive in Dubai are the taxes. Everybody knows about the taxation. You have 0% income tax, you have 0% capital gain tax, 0% wealth tax, and 0% inheritance tax. If I come back to the real estate market, whatever capital gain that you would make on your property, on your investment, will not be taxed, and you will obviously be able to repatriate that in your home country. Now let's talk about the Dubai lifestyle, which is another very attractive point. Dubai is ranked as #2 safest country in the world as per the WEF, providing a secure environment for residents and investors. Myself, I've been here more than 17 years now. And I can tell you that, yeah, this place is probably the safest place I've ever been in the world.
Do you ever lock your front door, Alexi?
I don't. But no, it's a funny question, but actually my door is never closed, and you can have whatever you want, like your computer, phone, and everything in your car. Nobody will take it. Extremely safe place. Important for investors. Quality of life ranked #4 in the world. It attracts expatriates and skilled professionals. Luxurious lifestyle. This is the typical image you have of Dubai, but I have to say that Dubai is not just about sports car, yacht, and fancy clubs. You have people like you and me working, having their families, kids at school, etc. Typical life that you would have in your home country. But let's say that you live in a place where people pay to come on holidays. High quality education. This is another point that the investors and people looking forward to relocating in Dubai are looking for, the education for their kids. You have all different type of education options for your kids. Typical British, American, IB, Swiss, French, etc., etc. You name it. Those are all private schools, and the level of education is pretty high. The price comes with it, actually, so it's pretty expensive, but the quality of education is pretty high. And last thing is healthcare, super important. The hospitals in Dubai are equipped with the latest technologies. So you are in a very robust healthcare system with advanced medical facilities and services. My wife, being a dermatologist, a surgeon, could testify. So those are probably the main points that people would look after before relocating or investing in a country. Coming now to the Dubai real estate, first thing is there is a very strong demand. Dubai is a global city. As I told you, the authorities are aiming at doubling the population by 2040. This is a chart showing you the evolution of the growth of the population from 2011 until now. So you can see that it's pretty stable, and if we follow this trend, we will be probably around 6 million, 6.3 million by 2040. So this is a trend that has never stopped in Dubai, even during the COVID actually. Everybody knows about the regulation in Dubai, which used to be probably 15 years ago. It used to be wild, if not non-existent. Today, it's the total opposite. You have a very transparent and investor-friendly regulatory system that offers protection to the investors. It's practically impossible today to invest in real estate in Dubai and lose your money in the way that the regulation is so strict for the developers to offer developments and projects in Dubai that only the good ones remain. So you have to know that in Dubai, you probably have like a bit more than 200 developers, and a new project is being launched every 18 hours, which makes roughly like a bit more than 400 projects per year. All these developers have to show a very strong financial health and have to be compliant with all the regulation of Dubai. Uh, by the way, when you invest in an off-plan project, as an example, your money doesn't go to the developer; it goes into an escrow account, which is managed by the DLD, the Dubai Land Department, and so your money is safe until your property is being delivered. The Dubai real estate off-plan offers you diverse property options, from luxury villas, apartments, commercial properties, and also plots. You can buy pieces of land. Some areas of Dubai used to be and are still actually dedicated for the GCC citizen, GCC being the Gulf country community, basically all the Arabic Peninsula. And previously, you would have properties which you would own for like 99 years. This almost does not exist anymore. Now you're on freehold. So when you buy or you invest in a property, it's 100% yours till the end of ages. So yeah, I got many times this question. Whatever you purchase here, I mean, 100% of the projects that we will offer through Allborn Assets will be projects where you become 100% owner for forever. The rental yields, this is also something, I mean, if not the most important thing for investors. Usually, if you compare with global major cities like typically Paris, London, New York, Los Angeles, Hong Kong, Singapore, etc., you would get a 2 to 3% yearly yield. Where in Dubai, you will get much more. I'm being very conservative when I give you this figure, 6 to 7% on average. You can easily, when you select properly the area, the type of unit, the developer, you can easily make 8 to 10% yearly yield, which is extremely appealing, of course, as an income. The high potential for appreciation, you have to know that in Dubai, the price per square foot is extremely low. So Dubai for investors is actually very cheap. If you compare again Dubai with other global major cities, I've put here a list of these major cities: New York in the US, London, Hong Kong, Sydney, Singapore, Paris, Toronto, etc. You can see the average price per square foot, which is, if you take like London, pretty high. Well, Dubai is only 400 to 700 US dollar on average per square foot. It's extremely low, and this makes for investors a very cheap city to invest in. And as I always tell my clients, if I gave you the opportunity to, we've all seen this movie Back to the Future. If you had the opportunity to go back in time in the 1960s in London or in Paris, and had the opportunity to buy properties in those cities, I bet you would do it, because now the price per square foot of these properties are just exploded. If I take the example of Paris, the price per square meter this time in the 1960 used to be a bit less than €1,000, like 800 euros. Now the average is 10,000 euros per square meter. This is exactly it's gonna happen in Dubai as well. This is a brand new city. This is a city which is 55 years old, and we could see clearly the development over the last 20 years. It's only the beginning. When you see the master plan the authorities have put in place, and the vision that the sheikhs had and have for the city, we will reach this pricing. So it's a great opportunity today to invest in a city which is a baby city. When you compare with the rest of the world, Dubai is a baby city. This is actually a graphic, a chart showing you the evolution of the price per square foot since 2012. So it's been 13 years now. You can see the trend, and you can see that when it, I wouldn't say collapsed a bit, when it slowed down and went down, it was during the COVID. You can now see after COVID how it's going now. And Dubai has positioned itself as a global hub. So I wouldn't say that Europe is dead in terms of real estate investment, but clearly the center of the world has shifted towards the east, and the best opportunities are now in the Middle East, and especially in Dubai. Now let's talk about the off-plan projects. So off-plan meaning that you buy a property which is under construction and will be delivered in a few years. So what the advantage is, because you have the secondary market being properties already existing, and you have the off-plan market, which are the project under construction. On an investment perspective, I always push my clients to go for off-plan projects for several reasons that I'm going to expose here. So the first is lower purchase prices. Today, the pricing of existing real estate in Dubai have increased a lot in the last 3 years. We could see properties going from being purchased like 1.5 million dirhams, worth now 3 million dirhams, double, if not more. So buying off plan is the offer that you will get off plan will be always at a lower price if you come at an early stage of the launch of the project. If you come later, obviously you will lose that momentum. You will get a higher price. But if you're on the right time, on the right project, you will get the best price on that property, and you will benefit from a very high potential of the value of the property. Second thing is that you have flexible payment plans. As I told you, you have more than 200 developers in Dubai. We chose to work with roughly 20 of them. We work with the historical ones, the strong ones, the ones who have huge financial capabilities, who deliver quality, who deliver on time. So only 20 of them we selected. And 100% of the developers in Dubai do have payment plans. So if you don't have the cash to pay cash, you would usually finance your property by going for a loan with a bank. The developers in Dubai allow you to have a payment plan on your property. So typically you would have a payment plan, a 60-40, which means that you would have to pay 60% of the value of the property over the construction phase. So if you buy a property which is under construction now in 2025 and which will be delivered in 2029, you will have 4 years of construction phases. You will have to pay 60% of the value during these 4 years. And on the handover in 2029, you will have to pay the remaining 40. So this is what we call a 60-40. Now you have 80-20, 70-30, 60-40, 50-50, etc. These payment plans are offered by the developers, and it all depends on the developer to determine which payment plan you will get. But the interesting point is that you also have, and this is something that comes more and more and that is offered more and more by the developers, you get payment plans with post handover, which means that I will take the example of a 70-30 payment plan or post handover, meaning that you will have to pay, I will take the same example, a property that starts, the construction site starts in 2025. It will be delivered 4 years later in 2029. So you will have 70% of the value of the property to be paid over the next 4 years until 2029. And on the handover date, on the delivery date, we'll start a post handover payment plan. So the last 30% that you will have to pay will be split over 60 months, which is actually 5 years, 5 times 12 months. And you will pay 0.5% every month during 5 years, during 60 months. So this allows the client. So you would have a payment plan if you consider that of 9 years. So you will pay 70% over the four first years of construction. Handover date, you will have the remaining 30% to be paid over 5 years. So it gives a lot of flexibility in terms of cash flow to the investor. And you can skip going for a loan, a bank loan, which would cost you today roughly 4.5% into interest. All these payment plans offered by the developers are interest free. So this is something very interesting. And coming back to the investment perspective, it totally makes sense to go for off-plan property, keeping in mind that you can benefit from this payment plan. If I come back again to this example of having a property with a payment plan of 70-30 post handover, keeping in mind that the property will be delivered fully furnished, you literally have to invest 70% of the value of the property until the handover date. Post handover, you can immediately rent your property, and your installment payment that you have to pay to cover your remaining 30% will be fully covered by the rent, because the rent will be much higher than the installment that you have to pay to complete the payment plan. Again, coming back to what I was saying, you get it for a lower purchase price when it's off plan, so you have a higher potential for appreciation. On average, you can count that when you purchase a property off plan and it's going to be delivered 2 to 3 years later, you can count on a minimum of 20 to 30% increase in the value. Over the next 5 years, we can expect probably a 50% increase. And at some point, you will have your property, which probably will double in value. I will take the example of the villa that I'm living in, that I'm renting at the moment. The owner of that villa bought it exactly half the price 3 years ago, that the actual value. And if he wanted to sell it today, he would actually make probably 110% added value on his property. This works especially with the villas, with the townhouses or villas. You would not get that much with an apartment, but it depends. It depends on the location and the type of property. So the potential for appreciation is huge when it comes to the off-plan market. This is something that you would not get with the existing units, with the secondary market. You will, of course, the price per square meter or per square foot of your property will increase by time, but not as high as with an off-plan property. Another very interesting point is the payment currency. So, as I said, Dubai politically is a very stable place, but it's also very stable in terms of currency. The UAE dirham, which would be the currency you would have to purchase your property with is actually pegged to the US dollar. So you don't have any risk of having the devaluation of your of the currency of the UAE currency. So it provides stability and predictability in terms of the exchange rates. And also, most of the developers do accept cash payments up to a certain level, and you can also pay in crypto, providing that you convert your cryptocurrency in USDT. So this is something. This is a question that I get very often, and we have a lot of clients using their cryptocurrencies to invest in Dubai. I'm talking about people who invested. Mainly in 2015, between 2015 and 2017. Now their portfolio in terms of cryptocurrencies is pretty high, and they can use that to pay to finance their investment here in Dubai. As I said earlier, there are roughly 200 developers in Dubai. We don't want to work with them. I've been myself for 17 years. I know all of them. I know which one to work with. I know which one not to work with. Here is a list of most of the ones we are working with. So we want to guarantee our clients that we provide them with a reliable solution, developers that do provide quality, that deliver on time, and that deliver in the best area of Dubai, because the area is key. So that's about it for the real estate in Dubai. That was a brief introduction. Of course, there are many other questions that you could have. If you have any other question, I mean, obviously we will be there to answer. We can set up Zoom calls with Vincent and answer all your questions. So I'll get back to you, Vincent.
Yeah, sure. Thanks for that, Alexi. I must say that it's fascinating to see, especially the price per square foot compared to the major international cities, because arguably Dubai is much more attractive than any of those places for different reasons, right? For the weather,
Indeed.
taxation, safety. It's hard to imagine why anyone would want to be in any of those places rather than Dubai. Obviously, there's personal preference, maybe family connections, whatever. But from an investment perspective, that's super attractive and super interesting. One of the other questions that people often ask is, how does the real estate that we provide, how does that link into the Dubai Golden Visa? Is that something that we can help people out with? And I mean, I know it is, but could you run through that for us?
Yeah, definitely. The golden visa, which is a 10-year golden visa, is a visa that you can acquire through different ways. If you reside in Dubai, it's through salary, or if you are a skilled person, if you're a doctor, a professor, PhD, etc. But the main route to get the golden visa in Dubai is actually the Dubai property. So if you acquire property worth 2 million dirhams, which is roughly 500,000 euros or 550 USD, you will directly have access to the golden visa, and you don't need to have paid 100% of your property. As far as your title deed states that your property is worth 2 million dirhams, you're eligible to get your golden visa. So usually when you buy a property or you invest in an off-plan property here in Dubai, you will have to pay 24% upfront as a deposit, 20% of the value of the property, plus the 4% DLD, which is the Dubai Land Department, the registration fees. As far as you have paid this 24%, you can end your title deed mentions an asset value of 2 million dirhams. You can immediately claim your golden visa, and this is a process that takes roughly like 10 working days at most, for a cost usually between six to 7,000 US dollars. So that's a pretty good way to have I wouldn't say a second home, but a backup solution for. I have many clients, I say from South Africa, who not only make an investment in terms of real estate, a profitable investment here in Dubai, money wise, but also do get a backup solution in case of any trouble in their country. They can immediately relocate their family here in Dubai. So yeah, that's something we do on a daily basis. We provide the golden visa to our clients, providing that they have made the right investment at the right price.
Yeah, I was going to ask actually, roughly speaking, how many buyers do you think are buying in order for them to relocate versus pure investment? I guess there's probably a big mix because there's such a big influx of
That
residents, right? But
that's a very interesting question because previously you would have like probably 70% of the investors being out of Dubai and 30 I mean purchasing an investment in Dubai purely for investment purpose. And 30% would buy as end users for themselves. Now we can see actually the trend, which is reversing. So we have more and more people buying for themselves. So the balance is kind of getting there, and this is actually a good sign because I have many people who tell me, "Yeah, Alex, but the what about the next bubble, the real estate bubble in Dubai?" Well, it's not even close to happen if you look at all the reports from the different banks or for the major actors here in real estate. We're not even close to a bubble for the simple reason that the offer is not exceeding the demand at all. The population is growing every single year, and you have less and less people investing. Buying, purchasing properties for pure investment purpose. So the more you have people buying as end users, the more stable a real estate market becomes. So this is a very good sign for us to see that more and more people are buying for themselves.
yeah, yeah, it's a really interesting point because just anecdotally, again, we have so many clients who are relocating to the Middle East, and and advisors in the industry coming out, and they're all saying the same thing, that these new advisors are joining Holborn in the Middle East, whether it's in the Saudi office or in Dubai or Abu Dhabi. And that they may be from places like the UK, and they say, I've got 70 clients in the UK, and half of them just want to get out. They want to move. Maybe they're going to Cyprus, maybe they're going to Dubai or Abu Dhabi or Saudi. But so many people from from Europe, and particularly in the UK, I suspect it's similar in Europe, that are wanting to get out for different reasons. So Dubai is kind of a magnet, I think, for that inward inward movements of people, especially I think for high net worth. So I believe Dubai is absorbing more millionaires than any other location
Yeah,
in the world.
it was actually the case last year. We welcomed 6,700 new millionaires, and this year we expect 8,500. We're still number one in terms of city welcoming the most millionaires. We're actually sharing the cake, if I can talk that way, with Singapore. So yeah, you have a lot of outflux from Europe to the Middle East, and even myself as an investor, I invested. Probably like 12 years ago, I invested in my home country in Belgium. And I have to say, although, yeah, it's my home country, so it's always good to have something at home. I kind of regret it. I should have invested earlier in Dubai. The appreciation of the value of my properties would be even higher today. Uh, because that's it. I mean, this is a safer place here. You have everything that you could dream of in terms of education, in terms of healthcare, in terms of lifestyle. Uh, People want to move here. You can make a lot of appreciation of your property. Your yearly yield is probably twice, at least twice, what you could get in other major cities, if not in your home country. So at some point, that becomes a no-brainer to invest here. And for those, I mean, many of my clients, when they see these figures like 400 to 700 US dollars per square foot on average here in Dubai, they don't believe me. So I invite them to go and look in Property Finder. They can have a look. I mean, these are the real figures. I mean, we are not inventing that. Those are public figure, and you can go on the government website. There is a website which compiles all the data for absolutely everything in Dubai, and you have obviously the data related to the real estate market. It's astonishing. It's astonishing for the same price what you could get in London or in Paris, and what you can get in Dubai. it's unbelievable. But again, as I said, Dubai is a baby city.
Mm.
It's a kid. So again, if you have the opportunity to invest and to be at the very early stage of the development of the city, well, I mean, that's where you're going to make your perfect investment. Today, I wouldn't
Yeah,
say that
yeah.
investing in Paris or in London is a bad thing because those are typical good investment in terms of real estate, but absolutely no comparison with a city like Dubai.
Yeah, it's interesting. I came to Dubai in 2006 and I was there for 12 years. And, I met a lot of expats. And one of our common questions in our financial planning, process is, where do you think you're going to retire? And back in the sort of, from 2006 all the way up to kind of maybe 2015, 2016. It was very rare that anyone would say Dubai. It just wasn't seen as a long-term location. But then I think in the past sort of 10 years, a lot of those people who previously didn't think of Dubai as kind of their long-term location, they're switching now, and they're like, a lot of people are just saying that they don't want to go back home, and they are considering Dubai as their permanent location. And that didn't really happen before. And it's partly the evolution of the city, I think, partly the growth, but also the Dubai authorities, with this long-term 10-year visa and so on, and trying to really try and lock people in for the long term. It's clearly a political sort of move from the government as well to try and encourage that. So there's definitely more sort of stability and longevity there, without a doubt. You see that a lot.
Fully agreed. Fully agreed. This is what you see now. People I'm coming closer to the retirement age would have their house here. They would have made their money here. They would invest here. They would have their own house slash villa slash whatever. They would have invested in real estate, own a few properties which are now paid, benefiting, getting an income with the rent, and would probably spend like I would say 2/3 of the year in Dubai, where the climate is much nicer than in my home country in Belgium or in London, and would spend during the nice months, the summertime, they would go in Europe or wherever.
Yeah.
So this is something that this almost became typical here.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, spend June, July, August, or spend that back in Europe. But the rest of the time, I think
Exactly.
let's stay in
Exactly.
Dubai. Okay, listen, that was brilliant. That was really interesting. And I think it'd be useful maybe if we do another one of these in a few weeks or a couple of months' time as some new information comes online. I guess there's loads of projects to potentially talk about. But a lot of these projects go so fast that it's difficult to kind of talk about a project because then it might just be kind of gone. So for anyone listening, we would encourage you to get in touch and have an appointment with myself and Alexi, and we can kind of discuss a bit more on the individual projects, just because they are kind of hot and they are moving so fast that it is something that's time dependent. So it probably makes sense that we kept this more sort of fundamental and high level, and we can get more specific with people individually. So please do get in touch if you'd like to do that. I think we'll probably call it a day there then, Alexi. Thank you so much for that. It was really interesting. And like I say, if anyone would like to get in touch, please do. We'll do another one of these updates very soon. But until then, thank you everyone for listening.